Hey, what's up, guys? Shieldix here. Welcome back to more Fate Grand Order. You know, pay no mind to anything, you know, on the screen currently. You know, it's nothing happened. No, you know, nothing happened. You know, just everything went exactly as planned. Definitely didn't burn all my Saint Quartz on the Izaminosora or whatever ban or anything. No, that's totally not why I have Lancer Kiyohime and why I'm currently doing what I'm doing. That's and I got Miss Blavatsky, so there's that. You know. Did you at least read their manga? No, I didn't. But yeah, before we hop into Imaginary Scramble, I'm just gonna do this last node for Lancer Kyo's rank up quest, you know, which, you know, for no real reason, you know. But yeah, last time, basically the major thing is at the end of last time, it seemed like Goghie was being taken over by an outer god, which, you know, not ideal. Not ideal at all, really. Or at least she didn't show it outwardly, but there was just that hint of like red text saying "just kidding" when after Goghie said she would help us no matter what. So, you know, mildly concerning. You know, mildly. And I'm sure that won't have any consequences whatsoever. Oh, interesting. Tomoe is her. Huh. They must have had like a clash during their summer event, huh? I don't know why else it would be Tomoe who'd be her rank up quest final boss. I hadn't actually seen this version of Tomoe Goes in Summer's this Ascension. I've only seen her like her VR headset version, I think. My first time seeing this particular Ascension. Different summer events? Huh. Weird. I wonder why she's Kiyohime's. I mean, I guess it's not unusual. You see random people in other rank up quests, you're like, eh? I guess it's just because she's a Summer Saber, so she's a hard counter to Summer Kyo. Or something like that. Do I trust that will kill? It'll probably kill Tomoe. It'll probably do it. But yeah, just doing this right quick, and then we'll hop right into Imaginary Scramble. I just was in the middle of doing this when... Ah, shit. When I realized it was time to start stream, so I was like, sure, I'll do this on stream, why not? Oh, yeah, I will be. Finishing Imaginary Scramble, then Dragon Castle, then Heian-kyo, and... by then, it should be about time for Anniversary. Maybe Akiran. Yes, but you know, I'm so invested into the Hibiki banner. I'm probably gonna keep going on it until I either run out of time or get them. That's likely what will happen. If I'm gonna be uber honest. Yeah. Give me the Saint Quartz. There we go. Yeah. Alright. Don't judge me. Don't. Man. Can you actually even play? I can. It might have spoilers in it. But I am able to play it. It's not grayed out. I mean, I was able to play last year's if I wanted to. Which, I mean, I technically did play it. I just didn't read the story. Alright. But yeah. And Act 4, The Unthinkable Dissolving. Which, you know, sounds terrifying. But I'm sure it's fine. I'm sure nothing bad's gonna happen to anyone. I'm sure Goghie won't be fully taken over by an outer god and try to kill us. And that would just be ridiculous. Sorry about that, I had to sneeze.
Okay, we're finally in the 4th region. Nice work, everyone. This is it. The last area. It may not be as big as some of the others, but there's no telling what might await us here. Still, after everything this crew's overcome, I have complete faith we'll make it through whatever else lies ahead.
Let's just take it one step at a time.
Yeah. It's not good to dwell on things too much.
By the way, do you think it'd be okay if I cloned myself again now? You probably shouldn't do that.
No, the risk's too great. Doing that leaves you too vulnerable. How many times do I have to tell you?
Yes, you're right. I'll just stay on the bridge like I'm supposed to.
Okay, now that we've all steeled ourselves for what's to come, let's go on ahead and get started.
Yeah, going back to the summer event being locked or not, yeah, at least according to its page, it's also just Fuyuki locked. But apparently the main interlude version, when it gets turned into a main interlude next year in February, that will actually be locked to having to clear Ordeal Call 2, I think. I think that was the deal with it. But yeah, the actual event version of it is open to clearing Fuyuki.
Huh? What is it? Are we under attack?
Oh, well, I thought I heard a pinging sound, but I couldn't tell where it was coming from.
You couldn't tell?
No, I couldn't. There was something unreal about it. Almost like an auditory hallucination. Just what you want to hear from your sonar substitute, I know.
You getting anything, baddie?
I've been searching all around at max range and sensitivity, but I'm not picking up anything at all. Was that an explosion? Where'd it come from? Oh man, something's headed our way, like right now! I think I'm seeing something, but there's still no sign of any enemies nearby.
What was that?
What was that?
I haven't read it, but I think it's better to just skip it. I don't really... See, I was thinking about that. If I assume
if I say, you know, if I play it but don't read it, right? Like I did with last year's summer event. But I would technically have gone through the story. Would the main interlude be like completed when I buy it from the shop? Or like would I be able to replay the main interlude version? I'm assuming because it's technically different, I would be able to I'd be able to play through it if I did do that. It just I want to at least play, not maybe again, maybe not necessarily read it, but I would at least want to play the summer event so I can get the Saint Courts and like shop stuff out of it. But like I would imagine I can just replay the story of it when it's turned into a main interlude, but that's the one thing I'm concerned about is if like, oh, you did the event, so we'll just have the entire map and the main interlude version unlocked already. Like that's what I'm afraid of. Main interlude will be different. Okay, so it won't be like story already like completed or anything. If I do go that route, I might do that then. I don't want to skip another summer event, but at least this one again I'll be able to do the story of it later. So I guess I might. Again, I really don't want to skip it, but it's probably for the best. But, yeah.
What was that?
An enemy ship just fired one of their weaker noble phantasm level beams at us. Damage report now.
Port side here. Thanks to the new upgrades, it didn't even scratch our pressure hole. But I still don't want to take a direct hit from an A-rank beam.
Engine room, full reverse, and keep us silent. We need to figure out what's going on here.
Aye aye. Triton wheel, full reverse.
Yangui Fei, Osaka Behime, tell us everything you can about that attack.
I'm sorry. I heard it coming, but I have no idea where it came from. Same here, I think. I could tell from my bounded field that there was something next to us, but I couldn't quite pinpoint where it was.
Maybe it's some kind of sonic camouflage? Are they using white noise to hide a new silent noble phantasm the way we do?
This is the workshop. It would seem the enemy has yet another new adaptation. I will begin studying this new development as soon as we're out of harm's way. Until then, good luck.
Bridge here, copy that. Alright everyone, this won't be the most pleasant voyage, but I'm going to need you all to remain on alert for the time being.
Then we'll need to up our searching game more than ever. You, keep your ears peeled for any sign of enemies. I'm gonna head out to the ship for a bit.
Sonar Hime out. Don't get killed, please. I'm sure you'll be fine, but you never know. Yeah, I guess it is a bit smaller than the third region. Alright, I could just do more story right away, but I'm gonna do a couple of these first. That was the worst one I could have done. I don't know why I went through with using that one. That was actually horrible. Why did I do that? I just want to see what's up out here. Any chests in the immediate area? It would seem so. I'll grab this and then we'll continue. Yeah, that's what I was just saying. I was just seeing if there was
any chests in the immediate close area first. Thanks for mentioning some mechanics to the new... Yeah, no. I know. But that's what I was saying is like when it's turned into a main interlude, I was just afraid that if I played the event version, I don't know if it would like read it as me having already seen the story, and then I wouldn't, and then like the main interlude version would already be completed, like after buying it, because it was like, oh, you already did the story, even though I technically didn't, because I just skipped all of it. That's what I was afraid of. But doesn't seem like that'll be the case, so it's probably fine. Yeah, oh, another no battle. Interesting. I assume the final section of this act will probably have a battle to it, more than likely. I would think. It will not when the main interlude happens, you can do it again. Okay.
What in the world's going on here? We've had several of the same attacks now, and neither Osaka Behime nor Yangui Fei were able to detect the attacks ahead of time.
That's concerning.
We haven't even seen any actual void enemies this time, just our attacks. What is going on here?
I don't know, but the fact is, if they wanted to sink us, we'd already be in Davy Jones' locker. Probably. This is the most unpleasant thing I've experienced since my bout with pufferfish tetrodotoxin.
I don't know if they're toying with us or we're just getting lucky. Damn it, I hate this. I'm back from patrol. You already got the data I sent you, right? Yep, on it. Now I'm putting the images I processed up on the monitor now.
The difference is that some rewards like command spells will not be, command seal, yeah, those, the command card things, will not be rewarded and replaced by RP and stuff like that, but that's it. Yeah. That's fine. I just want to make sure it wouldn't, like, register as me having already done the story and just have the entire thing completed. that was my only fear, is of me, like, potentially doing what yeah. But if I can replay it, then we're good. Then I'll probably skip it and just wait for the main interlude version. To actually read the story. Of course, I'll still play the... Yeah.
We still haven't seen scale or fin of any enemies here, but if we zoom in real tight on this one part...
What's that?
So it's nothing but shadows?
Some kind of... cloaking?
Exactly, there's a ton of sus grid spaces here, but I can't find the enemy that ought to be in the center of them anywhere.
Yeah, very sus.
We haven't seen a single attack from any of the small enemies, and we still have no idea where all these beam attacks are coming from. That does it. These waters are too dangerous for us to linger. For the time being, I say we head back to the previous area.
Okay, let's plan our next move somewhere we can take a breath.
Actually, Captain, before we leave, do you think we could try sending out a ping of our own just once? You think we'll be able to find these enemies that way? That doesn't seem likely. I don't think it'll help us find these enemies either. It'd be great if it did, but there's another reason I want to try. I want to try scanning the terrain here to see what's going on with these strange reverberations I've been hearing from the enemy attacks. Like you said, Captain, if they'd wanted to sink us, we'd already be sunk by now. So I don't think sending out one ping is going to get us killed.
Okay.
Let's do it. Mash, get in a defensive position just in case. Understood.
This'll be fine, probably.
Okay, sending out one pulse. No retaliation so far. Well, I just learned one thing. This area's exit is blocked off. What? Here, I'll show you an updated map on the monitor. There we go.
Can we see? It really is blocked off. Yeah, not that I could tell, but sure.
How can this be happening? The terrain itself is changing? This has to be deliberate, if not outright malicious. Who's behind this? Why is this happening to us? I know that monstrous enemy ship wanted to stop us from going further, but we already defeated it. Did I not already tell you? That ship was almost certainly being controlled by someone else. And if that is correct, this mysterious entity can only be telling us one of two things.
I'm gonna kill you slowly, or you shall not pass.
If it's the former, we're simply done for. But if it's the latter, it would be worth seeing what happens if we comply and cease our attack. Sorry to interrupt,
but we have another incoming explosion. Oh!
What do you say, Captain? Alright, let's give it a shot. Shut the engines down. Stand by. Mash, keep your guard up. Right.
Looks like the attacks have stopped. You don't look so good, Captain. I mean, this is literally him. The ship is literally him.
Yeah, you might be right. But can you blame me? I feel like a kid who just had his parent take away his checkers set.
I was gonna say, why checkers? But I guess from his time period, there's probably not a lot of interesting toys. It's like our opponent's ignoring the rules and pinning me down by my head.
If I don't snap out of it,
This might even start to wear down my confidence in my abilities as captain.
Since the attacks seem to have stopped, I'm gonna lower the threat level for now and take a break for a while.
Yeah, you deserve one, buddy.
I need some time alone.
Got it.
You rest up, Nemo. Nemo? Can I stay with you? Van Gogh, sorry but no, not right now. Right, of course. I'm sorry, I should have known better.
Why'd you want to be with him, huh?
I can't do anything to help. I want to pay Nemo back for helping me, but I can't. Why not?
Because we don't trust you? Is it because I'm not really Van Gogh? No, that can't be it. I am Van Gogh. I am. All my memories and everything I know say I am. Right.
There might be some inconsistencies here and there, but I know I'm Van Gogh. The only reason I can't bring myself to believe it is because I lack conviction. So what can I do to show my conviction? Knowing me, I can... Yeah, Nith Zoth Chwashu Futagwaggle Young Futagen. Yeah, hella relatable. Hella. Interesting. I have the points needed, but I'm... Oh, right, they said we were gonna go back to the third region, right? Or... No? Maybe I just have to clear more of the... map? Okay. Weird. Oh, there we go. Alright. Alright then. Fran and Raiko. I don't know if I like that those are my only options, but alright. Sure. I'm sure we'll be fine. They wouldn't give us a too hard enemy on support only. Probably. Hopefully. Oh. Oh, hey there, Master.
What, submarines?
Well, we just saw Captain go into the cargo hold looking like he was marching to his own
execution or something.
Of course, we can just tell how he's feeling anyway, since we're all connected. So when he feels down, we feel down too, though we don't all feel it the same way because we've got different personalities and all.
Sounds like Captain must be seriously bummed out then.
Yeah, he's always had a strong sense of responsibility. And he's been feeling bad about bringing us all to this place ever since we got here. Things were looking up for a while recently, but now that's all gone, right? So you know. But we're sure someone will figure out something eventually. So in the meantime, we're just keeping busy. Don't worry, things will work out, especially with these cute charms we've got for good luck.
You mean Yangui Phase dolls?
Looking at mine always helps me relax. We're pretty loosely defined phantom spirits, so it's just really reassuring to get something like this. Man, Yangui Fei's amazing. It's not just the dolls, you know, she figures out what we want and gives it to us without us having to say a word. She helps out with our jobs, even the manual labor. She hangs out with us during our breaks, plays games with us, sings with us. Honestly, Yangui Fei might be half the reason the Nemo series, and by extension Captain, has held it together this long.
She seems pretty great, huh? Forget being one of the top 3 beauties in the world. She's more like one of the top 3 nicest people.
I hope we get to work with her again sometime.
I'll tell her you said that. Okay, see you guys later.
Okay, later, Master.
Well, at least 2 of them were smiling by the end.
Duh.
Ah, Fran!
It's cool in here. But I'll leave if you don't want me here.
That's okay. I just can't hang out right now, that's all. Yay! Lounging around. This situation is untenable. Lounging around. Yeah, something about... Oh god, I know you did, but I don't remember exactly what it was. Something about how... I know you did, but I don't remember it. I've got to do something about it. Lounging around. Engage maximum lounge mode.
You're really tired, huh, Master? What's wrong?
I can't figure out who's behind this. Cthulhu?
And that'll help you?
Maybe I'm just going through the motions of thinking.
I get it. I do that too sometimes, because I get tired.
Then Papa and everyone else do lots of things for me. They're so easy! Fran, you've gained a somewhat twisted personality, huh? If only someone smart would give me a hint. Someone smart? A hint?
Oh, did you think of something?
More like remembered something, but yeah.
Oh, then I'll go with you.
Okay, let's go. Weirdly quiet here, isn't it? Is that bloodstains? What do you mean bloodstains?
Stand back, Master.
My, did you think you could protect yourself on all sides alone? I sensed something amiss and came as quick as my Shadow Prefect legs could carry me. I should be able to at least keep the 2 of you safe. It's strange though, Matt should have been the first one here, especially now that we're no longer on high alert.
Quiet, something's coming.
How'd you get on the ship? Yeah! Huh. Captain? Captain, we have a problem.
There's so many.
Be careful, Master.
I'm going to carve a path straight to the bridge.
The blood leads to the cargo hold. Captain!
Then we go the other way. Understood.
Then I shall make sure we get there, even if I must drench the path in the enemy's blood. Do they even have blood, do you think? Given their shadows? I mean, probably. Am I being shadow-ist by saying they don't have blood? Mayhaps. Okay, Fran. Fran? Would... Okay. That was, interesting. She went from Bukuras to being a lot calmer. Alright, well. You know, her spirit origin may be that of a saber currently, but her base form is a berserker, so I guess maybe that still has a little bit of influence on her overall behavior. I mean, it definitely does. We've seen that with other berserker turned other classes. That, you know, they might be a little bit calmer, more coherent, but they still have some berserk tendencies. And I could have just used that Fran card and it would have. Ah well, we still win. More? I need more pain, more wounds, more punishment. But I can't inflict any more on myself. So I'll have to have someone do it for me. I love pain. Oh.
Van Gogh?
Was that blood Van Gogh's from her hurting herself a little bit? And then she's like manifesting these creatures and she feels the pain they feel when we hit them, maybe? That would make sense.
What happened? Ah, you're bleeding. Please, punish me, Nemo. I don't know why, but I can't die. Isn't that strange? I'm Van Gogh, but I can't die.
What the? Did your blood just create monsters?
I don't understand anything anymore. Who am I? Am I not Van Gogh? If I'm not Van Gogh, then you don't need me. Especially when I just make monsters. So please, kill me, Nemo. You're the captain. You'll be doing everyone else a favor.
Stop. Goghie, could you calm down a little bit? Please?
Ritsuko, what are you doing here?
Right now, we need to subdue Van Gogh for her own protection.
Got it.
Well, it makes sense that the chapter that would introduce Van Gogh would have Van Gogh have a lot of angst. Only makes sense, given, you know. How Van Gogh went out.
Yay! やるよー
That's just par for the course, I suppose. Alright, Goghie. You need to chill out, girl. Man. Alright.
容赦しませんからね。あら、いかがされました？容赦しませんからね。
That's alright, right.
こっち。ではそのように。
Crits would be great. Perfect. I'm glad they didn't give her much health. I was afraid we were gonna have to fight Van Gogh at like... Oh, she's not even attacking. Oh wait, she's perma stunned, right?
では空気のためです。聞こえてる。ライコン、参ります。
Alright.
通りと分かってる。聞こえてる。
I'm going to assume that perma stun was probably her refusing to attack us. Because it seemed like she just wanted us to kill her, so why would she fight back in that scenario?
度を過ぎれば毒となります。いいですね。
She wouldn't.
It hurts. I love it.
We need to get those wounds closed.
The infirmary is not far from here. I'll go get her, Master. I heard what happened. I'll start treatment right away.
Keep them safe, Nemo.
Got it. It pains me to say this, but you're probably better equipped to handle this than I am. I'm counting on you, Ritsuka.
Yeah, I guess everyone else is probably busy fighting as well, huh? There's probably monsters all over the place. Gotta go save the others. Hopefully no Marines got hurt. If they hurt the Marines, why I oughta.
Or worse, if they hurt Baker. Or Engineer. Or Professor.
They'll all pay.
容赦しませ
None
ん。
will live. Rend their flesh from their bones.
はっ。アタック。
Oh, you're a tough one, eh? Not for long. Not for long.
この委員長、見逃しません。空気のため。
Actually, will you utilize this to do this?
いざ。アタック。
That would have been nice. Ow.
Rude, Leaf? Attack Fran!
ではそのように。
What the hell did Raiko do?
いざ。
Except for murder you guys, but you know, it's irrelevant to everything.
息抜きは必要なものですが。
Her murdering you has no relevance to anything.
いいですね。
Although, they'd probably disagree on that, but, you know. Who cares what they think? Who cares?
Almost there. There's the bridge. Now, run for it.
Is everyone Daijobu?
Master, yes, we're okay. You and me are fine.
I'm super used to hiding out in a siege.
The Marines were a little banged up, but it looks like they've all recovered now.
Any other sections? Are they alright too?
Engine room here. We got a few nasties pinning us down in here.
Be real helpful if you could send us some help. Raiko, go.
This is the computer room. Need some help down here too. This is the workshop. Baker and I are both pinned down. Send help as soon as... What's going on? Oh, it's you.
Lambda here. I took care of the monsters in the aft compartment. They were blocking the way to the shower. Would you mind helping others out, maybe? I'll pass by the engine and computer rooms next, but you might want to consider giving the whole ship an inspection to be safe.
This is the cargo hold. I agree with Lamdarillis. Ritsuka, we need to go over every millimeter of this ship. We can't let a single monster survive. That's the plan. Okay, I'm back safe and sound. That sure was an ordeal, wasn't it? Yeah, I want to take a bath and go to bed. I do too, but this isn't over yet. We still have no idea how to...
Well, we have some idea.
These monsters appeared out of nowhere. We've been anchored in place the whole time too. Yes, about that. As I'm sure you can imagine, the Nemo series knows everything Captain has seen and heard. Finko was covered in blood. And then she started making monsters out of that blood. Okay, quiet please. I've done a preliminary investigation. Those monsters did come from Van Gogh's blood, but it wouldn't quite be accurate to say she made them. Indeed. Her blood merely served as a catalyst to summon those monsters. Once the blood is cleaned up, it will no longer be a problem. It may well be that some manner of spell activated inside her body on its own, whether she intended it or not. I have my doubts. It's clear her wounds were self-inflicted, probably a consequence of her mental instability. My focus in the Nemo series is logic and reason, and that's telling me we can't rule out the possibility that this whole mess was part of an elaborate suicide attempt. Again, makes sense for Van Gogh, but still... Yeah, if nothing else, we know for sure that those monsters showed up because Van Gogh went nuts. I knew she was too dangerous to keep around.
You're still gonna keep your contract with her? Hey! She was... Again, she probably wasn't trying to hurt us. She was just trying to hurt herself, and that had unintended consequences. Probably.
You're still gonna keep a contract with her, Master? Let's just take it easy here, Marines. I know your straightforward nature is a big part of your appeal, but to be perfectly honest, I've never cared
For the way you guys so blatantly exclude anyone who's not in your group.
Hey, you get to work all cozy in the computer room.
You can't imagine what it's like for us being right next to the void all the time.
This is the kitchen.
I'm sorry to say this, Professor, but I think I agree with the Marines.
I wish you would try to understand what it's like being on the support side, where you can never solve any of the really
big problems yourself.
Nurse, you must know what it's like to want to get rid of anything that doesn't belong here for the safety of the crew, right?
I think Nurse is gonna agree with us.
This is Nemo Nurse in a cargo hold.
I'm too busy treating the patient to answer right now.
Engine room here. Knock it the hell off, Bridge. Just because Captain's exhausted right now doesn't give you all the right to freak out.
Our job's to beat the bad guys and protect the weak. That's all there is to it. Yeah! You tell him, Engineer.
So, if Van Gogh's a bad guy, then we'll beat her. But we've still got to keep her safe, so...
Yeah, I don't know anymore. I need some ice cream to cool down.
Yikes, sorry about this, everyone. This memory partition's biggest weakness. When things get confusing like this, we end up with all sorts of conflicting ideas and discussion just kind of deadlocks. This is awful. What should we do, Senpai?
We need to solve the mystery of how this happened, yeah.
Huh?
Take a look at this.
That's the drawing Shang Yu left on the wall right before this all happened. Oh yeah, I forgot all about that. I tried to figure out what it meant a while ago, but I couldn't crack it. Wait, did you figure it out, Master?
This is a stone piece from the board game Go.
Huh?
There's a shadow on the grid square where Batty detected the enemy. Uh-huh.
Okay, but there weren't actually any enemies there.
The enemies where the squares intersect. I actually did play Go a long time ago, but it was literally when I was like 8. I don't remember. Is Go the one where it's the white and black stones, and you have to like you can turn the enemy's stones into your stones if you surround them with yours? Is that one? I think it's that one, right? And the goal is to fill up the board with your color. Or if you reach a deadlock. But like whoever has the more squares filled wins, and it just yeah. I think it's, or is that? I think that's Go, but I could be wrong. The enemies where the squares intersect.
Huh? Wait, is that what the Go piece means? Hey, yeah. Unlike in chess, Go pieces are placed on the intersecting lines between the squares, not the squares themselves. But wait, does that mean the enemy is in between the squares? How does that make sense?
It doesn't. Besides, you and I haven't been missing anything in between the areas, Machan. That's not what I'm saying. Okay, what are you saying then? What if this game board-like monitor observed some kind of gap between the spaces of existence?
I think I understand. Hey, yeah. That's something we may have been overlooking entirely. If we assume the zero-width spaces are lined up at equal distances from each other, exactly where the lines that make up this grid intersect, then... Yeah, that would definitely explain the strange display glitch we're seeing on the monitor. So the very machine we used to observe this anomalous world has been bugging out. No way, if these impossible spaces really do exist, maybe it's because observing this world through the monitor actually caused the world to go a little nuts. Hey, yeah. If we can't prove whether the people observing the world have gone mad, or if the world itself has gone mad, does that mean using a buggy machine to observe the world actually distorted the world's spatial structure, thereby creating gaps between spaces, just like the lines on a Go board?
No, I get the feeling it's actually simpler than that.
You're right, Senpai. Someone must have distorted void space at the start of all this.
I think somebody must have observed those gaps using the machine as a guide.
Indeed, it has always been my suspicion that it was not a machine that trapped us here, but a being. Perhaps it was someone with the same kind of special power we have witnessed, and even benefited from numerous times thus far. Yes, since Yang Guifei has the power to project highly advanced visuals onto void space entities, and Van Gogh's blood has the power to convert those entities into real beings. Then perhaps it was another foreigner who manipulated the reverse side of the world's void space into its present form.
So we've got 3 foreigners?
If that's so, it explains the shape of the gaps between spaces. Especially if we assume that this foreigner got the idea by looking at this game board-like monitor, and recreated it, gaps and all. In that case, since we know beyond a doubt that Yang Guifei was summoned here from the throne after this incident had already begun, then the most likely suspect would seem to be... It's gotta be Van Gogh! She's the one behind all of this!
But hey, chill out, Marines! Everyone quiet down, let's verify first.
Good point. And let's find out right now if these gaps between spaces, I'll call them Go board spaces for the time being, really do exist. I think we can say that both Yang Guifei and Osaka Behime have unconsciously been conducting their searches under the assumption that the space we're in now is a typical 3-dimensional one. So we'll completely reconsider that aspect while calculating to determine if there's anything that would contradict the existence of these Go board spaces. Okay, let's put our heads together, construct a Magecraft function based on this new hypothesis, and update the monitor once we have. In the meantime, we all need to keep a cool head. And actually, Captain, do you think you can come back here soon? I can't leave Van Gogh alone right now. And I can't bring her to the bridge now either.
Nah, that's okay. We'll make do. Country girls make do. I don't know why that came to mind. It probably wasn't like Van Gogh as Van Gogh, but probably the being that's trying to enter this world through Van Gogh. Probably. Actually, before I do that, hang on, let me do a little bit more reconnaissance.
焦らず着実に改造を埋めていこう。
See what's out there. Nothing good, most likely, but... Nah, silvery light, okay. I'll take it, I guess. AV6.
そこだね。
We're just,
焦らず着実に改造を埋めていこ
reeling
う。
from the fact that apparently we're just playing Go, sort of, kind of, or the enemy's playing Go, but we only just now figured out what game is being played. So something along those lines. Like we've been playing checkers, well, the enemy's been playing Go, I guess, is what it seems to be. Something along those lines.
You were right on, Master. Once we re-examined our garbled scan data under the Scoreboard Spaces hypothesis, all the inconsistencies we'd been struggling with disappeared. We also found a way to adjust our targeting coordinates to aim at these Go-board spaces, and devised movement spells that will let our weaponry reach them. Now we can finally torpedo all the enemies hiding out in these spaces between spaces. All that's left is to give the signal to counterattack. Really? Then let's see if it works right now. I'm sick and tired of getting shot at and not being able to do anything about it.
Honestly fair.
Do you really think we could do that now? With all this tension?
Yeah. We have calls coming from inside and outside the house.
Well, ship in this case.
Wouldn't it be wiser to focus on beefing up our internal security first?
Not at all.
The best strategy to distract from internal problems is to give everyone an external enemy to focus on. Yeah, let's just hope the Marines don't take justice into their own hands. You're even more twisted than I thought, aren't you? Just a little Genji humor. At any rate, as the Shadow Prefect, I have my own piece to say.
Van Gogh is innocent. Believe me, I investigated her very thoroughly, and I never found a single piece of incriminating evidence.
Oh, come on, I could believe that if you were a caster or an assassin, but a lancer? Fair point. Well, I suppose I can understand your concern. Oh no, you made her cry. You monsters!
Besides, she could have just glanced at the monitor. It wouldn't take any time at all. And who knows what's going on inside a foreigner's head anyway. Yeah, we still have no reason to trust her. Yeah. Uh-oh. This isn't good.
Don't tell me. We're getting shot at again. It's mutiny time! Marines, I really don't want to hurt you, but... I'll protect Van Gogh.
Van Gogh's gotta burn! Please calm down, Nemo Marines.
There's no need for violence.
They're tougher than...
I mean, they are derived from a heroic spirit, so I mean... I wouldn't expect them to be weak.
And there's so many of it.
There's only 12 of them.
It's gonna be difficult to defeat them without injuring them. Who cares if they get injured?
They're clones, right? Just cut them down and be done with it. Nobody's cutting anyone. Captain, can't you do something to stop them? Is he starting to agree with them?
Captain, please say something, Captain! Yep, this is bad. The main unit's so overloaded that's starting to malfunction. If one of the clones gets destroyed now, he won't be able to recover their data or their spirit origin.
Which will cause a whole other set of problems. Big ones.
We can try rebooting the main unit, but myself, Baker, nurse, and engineer all have to authorize it.
And right now, Baker is on the Marines' side.
At this rate,
We'll all be killed before we decide on a plan.
come on, guys, stop it. Why are you doing this? We're all friends here, remember?
Goghie's a good girl, I know it. If there's something wrong with her spirit origin that's causing this, then there must be a way to fix it.
And if there isn't, then I'll stop it myself.
So please, cut this out. Oh? Wah! What?
My strength shall lift the mountains, and my might shall conquer the world. There. I have used my weakest attack to subdue all 13.
So there is 13 of them! Why did Nemo say 12? Unless he's counting Baker among them. Whoever. I don't know why I said whoever. I know it's Sheng Yu. Sheng Yu?
I awoke because I initially calculated this incident would be over by now. That seems not to be the case. My apologies, everyone. It seems my foresight was limited with regard to these events. Even so, the fact that you are all still alive must mean the 3 things I left to help Master must serve their purpose.
I think you miscounted there, Sheng Yu.
What? Does this mean the drawing I left on the wall was not sufficiently clear?
No, I got your message there. I'm talking about your 4th hint.
Aha, now I understand.
Oh, I get it now too, Master. Indeed. Of all the tricks for the culprit to employ. What are you guys talking about?
Don't leave me in the dark out here alone.
Don't worry, you're not alone.
Most of us here, myself included, are in the same boat.
Go on, Ritsuka, just tell us what it is already. Anyway, between the 12 Marines, engineer, professor, nurse, and me, we have 16 crew members altogether.
Oh, the 13. Okay, so Nemo. So there was no mistranslation there. It indeed was a, I guess Nemo, like, for some reason couldn't even tell there was an extra. Like, he just had a cognitive... Okay.
And that's the Nemo series lineup who'll be manning the ship for our training exercise today.
Oh.
There were supposed to be 12 Nemo Marines in total. So why are there 13?
And it looks like one of them isn't knocked out. You there, quit faking and get up.
I really messed up here, huh? I never thought you'd get all of us in one place like this. I can't believe it.
How did an imposter make their way into the Nemo series when we're all using memory partition?
I think that's exactly the blind spot the culprit took advantage of. You may all share what you see and feel, but perhaps you were too reliant on your sense of sight. Well, I'm sure you would have noticed the change in your shared senses immediately if one of your series were to do something abnormal, or if one of you went missing. There's no way you would have noticed any change when an imposter who looks just like you did the same. That you received no thoughts or senses from them made this easier.
But I've been keeping an eye on the Marines all this time to ensure none of them got up to anything indecent.
Still, as long as I'm around,
I'll not let a clone or two distract me from my duties. You said yourself that dealing with clones was tough, Raiko. Yes.
I suppose you're right, Master.
I'm sorry for failing you, Depressed.
But then, who could the extra Nemo Marine possibly be? Good question. Want to take a guess?
Master, according to my calculations.
Nah, shh.
I already figured it out.
Yes, indeed.
Oh yeah? Then prove it.
You're... Tokusai? Apparently?
But then why would she... Because she's a Chaldean servant at this point, right? So why would she... Why would she do this? Hmm.
そこだね。焦らず着実に改造を埋めていこう。
Yeah, she did appear in the first section, but still, why would she potentially get us?
巨大イカだけは避けたいところだ。
Unless she's not in control of herself. But that could make sense. Instead of Goghie being taken over by a outer god, it's been Hokusai the entire time. That would make some level of sense, I guess. Let's see, I assume she'll tell us what her plan was. And yeah, we'll bring Yang Weifei. Actually... I'll bring Doman for his bond points. Oh boy, okay, Blavatsky, you can come out. You know, we'll bring XX. It just makes sense to have her. And I assume this fight won't be terribly hard, so I'm not gonna worry about bringing better units than these two. I'm sure we'll be fine. Probably. Maybe.
Oh, well, guess the cat's out of the bag now. That's right, it's me.
The invincible swimsuit swordmaster, painter, and fairy, Katsushika Hokusai.
Oh, you're right. That one Marine named it Toto. Right. I forgot about that.
The invincible swimsuit swordmaster, painter, and fairy, Katsushika Hokusai.
This is hardly the time or place for that shtick.
Just forget you saw all that, alright? I just can't pretend to be my younger self sober any longer. Not even to pass the spirit origin scan.
You were the one disguising yourself as a Marine, OA?
Anyway, how'd you know it was me, Master? Is it because I'm a foreigner?
Well... yeah, kind of.
Well, except for Marines, they all have basically the same personality. You can think of them as one person sharing 12 bodies. You noticed, huh? Yeah, I drew those little swirls on the cheeks there myself. I thought it'd be cuter that way. Besides, it's more fun having one that's not exactly like everyone else's, you know?
Yeah. You were the only Marine to customize their doll.
Uh-huh, yeah, you got me there. This little dolly was so well made I couldn't help but try and one-up it. The swirls I drew are actually teeny tiny dragon crests. I'll show them to you later.
Okay, so why'd you try to mess with us? Why'd you try and get us killed? Anyway, now that's settled, see, let's get going. Oh, and if you get bored, you can always take a gander at the picture scrolls I painted. And then there was the scroll you painted under your own name.
Oh, I've seen that one in the database too. It's called Kanukapizu, or Operating on Guan Yu's Arm, and it's one of the few known paintings by Katsushika Oi that still exists today. Or we. It's a bold, gruesome painting that depicts the famous General Guan Yu ignoring the pain of his wound while playing Go. Oh, you guys remember that painting, Master Mash? Glad to hear it made an impression on ya. I'll be honest, I remembered that painting I showed you when I saw how this here monitor looked like a game board. I thought, that's it? If I just swap the shogi board out for a Go one, I can't lose.
What happened to Toto-sama? Toto-sama's empty right now. Well, more like he's busy being the antenna to the outer god. Huh. Okay, why are you doing this? So you're the one behind all this? Like, you're literally our servant. Why?
Hey, you could say that. I mixed water and ink into the void to make these seas dangerous. I've been painting rocks and monsters left and right to slow you down, Master. I added that sonar thingy I heard about at the workshop to the monsters. I got the idea to hide them in a space between go board spaces by sneaking a peek at the bridge. And I did it all to stop you and this ship, Master.
Why?
Ain't it obvious? For a painter, this void sea place is a dream come true. It's like one giant blank canvas stretching out as far as the eye can see. And all you gotta do is to get all the paint you want is stare into the void a while. What kind of painter would I be if I didn't try to paint something here?
So you're doing this because you're... Oh my god, you're obsessed about painting. Oh my god. That's really all it is?
But for some reason, old Toto-sama wasn't convinced. He kept hemming and hawing about whether it was okay for us to paint here or not. So just this once, I gave him a bop on the noggin and disobeyed him. I decided I was gonna get on the Nautilus myself, come hell or high water. That was how he ended up like this, and I've been doing my own thing ever since. No way, I don't buy it. You might be a genius painter, but you don't have any skill that would let you disguise yourself as a Nemo Marine. Oh, that? I got something of a metaphysical critical when I used item construction. It let me pass the ship's scans. I also lucked out when a spirit origin and ended up fighting for dominance with my saber OA1. Since that knocked out my vital signs. That made stowing away a piece of cake. You've got to be kidding me.
Metaphysical crits. What can you do?
Excuse me? Can I just say one thing, please? It's a pleasure to properly meet you, Lady Katsushika Hokusai. My name is Yang Yu Huan. Though I'm historically known as Yang Guifei. I'm also a foreigner, just like you are. Yeah, I know. And damn if you ain't even more of a beauty than I'd heard.
I'd love to paint your portrait sometime.
So what's a nation-ruining princess like you want to say to a humble painter like me?
Have you really sworn loyalty to the outer god?
Couldn't be further from my mind. I just want a little time to paint all the pictures I can. You don't mind staying a little longer, do you, Master? I'm just asking you to keep the ship here about 200 years!
No. That way I won't have to stick any more beasties on you or threaten you with cannons or anything like that. You can all just hang out, relax, and enjoy yourselves. How's that sound? I can't do that. I would die, literally.
That's so. In that case, Master, I think this is exactly what I was summoned for. All you have to do is give the order.
Yingui Fei, everyone, you know what you have to do. Subdue her.
Mingbao? Understood? I'll do whatever it takes to subdue her. Hang in there, Goghie.
I mean,
But what about, like...
Well... Yeah, no.
Because eventually... like, Gordolf and the other Chaldea staff would die in
了解
reality space. So was this evade? Chance to evade.
どうします
さようですか。
Sayo desu ka?
はは、なるほど。いかがです。
ガッテン承知の助さんあらよ浅いあらよ
Like the servants would be fine, but
了解
Gordy and the main staff members would bite the dust, so to speak.
心地よし。
超こざいなおっとそうだ
Why are all the foreigner servants designed so well, by the way? You know, I was just thinking about that. Oh, right.
どうしはい
Like, I swear, there isn't a single one that, like,
せいああフィニッシュ
looks
そうでしょ
bad.
う、そうでしょう。
シャシャラクラクさん超こざいなあビール飲みたいわ
Oh, you could argue that Hokusai is a little bit funky given her giant paintbrush, but... You know, for the most part.
それはそれは。
ああフィニッシ
いかがです。
ュ上々吉だ超こざいな
Heck, the weirdest one's probably
あ浅い
XX.
どうします
That's a strike. Well, not really. I was just saying
それは
it's
それ
a
は。
bit of an oddity, I guess.
おやおや。
ダブルXせい超こざいな
Actually, I guess the worst designed foreigner would probably be
超こざいな
Knock.
浅い
Just because she's a welfare who only has the one look and it's just a pretty basic swimsuit. So I would say Knock is probably the worst designed foreigner, probably.
せい
Oh boy.
本そじりしたそうか本中知り HB ベースそうか富岳36系神奈川沖波浦間に合わなかった彼らに笑えもう終わり
Mysterious Idol XX is probably worse.
いえ冷静な私なので超こざいな一回こうだ
I like Idol's design though. To be honest. I think it's better than just a single swimsuit. Also, oh boy.
お祭りお祭り足元ね
Maybe I shouldn't have underestimated this fight.
いかがです。
ガッテン承知の助さんあらよ一貫こうだ
おっと、これ以上肌。
へえ、次はこれやってみるか。腕の見せ所。ほら、ぺったんこ。
That's real not good.
開ける。
That's real bad.
見せ物にしてあげる。
I assume it's just break her break bar, right?
一緒に来る？そこ出ろ。
Hopefully it's not beat her fully, otherwise we may have a problem.
尋常に。合点承知の助さん。そら。あらよ。ついた。腕の見せどこ、一緒に来る？ほら、ぺったんこ。
Well,
蹴る。
my bad. I assumed this would be easy and didn't plan accordingly.
上吉だよ。
But,
超小材だ。おい。
huh. My bad. I underestimated you. My fault. my fault, OG. Alright. Well. That could have been better. So let's do this. We'll take these bond point ones off. Give me... Ignore Invincible works on the chance to evade, right? I'm pretty sure it does. Should do. I'll take Miko out as well. Give me alter ego. Actually, I'll leave you in front for now, actually. Let's swap that. And this. Okay. That should be better. Oh, you're right. This Aoko is 1-1 skills. What the heck? What the heck? You know, fine. I'll just bring Yang Guifei. Sure. Alright. This should go better. Skip that cutscene because we literally just saw it. Alright. No more Mr. Nice Guy, Hokusai.
前衛は私が。
You've messed us up enough. Tiamoto. Tiamom. You know, we'll just do a full Yang Guifei.
もうエロゴーゴー。
Right, that's not gonna work. Annoying.
ほうほう、ライチだ。えい。いいぞ、さん、やっちゃうぞ。もて
Damn.
なしましょう。合点承知の助さん。あらよ。浅い。一貫こうだ。浅い。
Alright. Mamat.
ダメ。させません。
I'll hold that.
はい。
Please hit. Thank you. Nice.
シャシャラクラクさん。あらよ。あらよ。いた。
Oh yes, full mother.
星の力。
Full mother
そ
combo
うですか。
with the ignore invincible card. Oh yeah.
よし。
Oh yeah. That's the stuff. That's what we're looking for.
ロ。
Get hyper beamed. That's what you get for going against mother.
尋常に。
That's what you deserve.
あらよ。
Rip Yangui Fei.
浅い。浅い。
Yeah. Quit painting your pictures. We don't have an interest in your silly photographs. Damn, this immune to buffs is really annoying. Actually, hang on, I can do this. This should be one down, yes, and then we'll use this.
決着の時だ。
Boom. Then use this. Boom.
評価
Boom.
完了。準備望むところだ。できました。
Boom.
レナ・ジェネシス展開。強き声。
And then we should win.
創世の利にあらない。
Easy dubs.
消えるじゃないか。
I mean, after her turn when she attacks Bazit, but, you know.
逆光剣。
Yeah, ride that wave, mother. Ride that wave.
フラガラック。
He countered.
超こざいな。フラガラッ
He countered again.
そうら。
And again.
こちらが先だ。
This is what you get for tricking us.
はい。は、そういうのもありよね。せい。
You should know better than going against your master.
ディアマトですので強いのですよ。
Yes, very Suyo. Alright, Hokusai. To the brig.
Looks like I might have bitten off a little more than I can chew.
I can't believe how strong she is. She's nothing like her file in the database. Is she linked to the other god? Is that all it takes to make someone this much stronger?
Still, at least we've got her on the ropes now. Lady Hokusai, I have one last question for you.
When I asked if you were the one behind all this, you said, yeah, you could say that. Now I want you to elaborate on that statement. Tell me, was the being who enticed you into doing this a god or a human?
Beats me. All I know is someone called to me and I answered. Someone far, far away.
A voice from the deepest reaches of the Void Sea.
And does that mean... Nope, no more yapping. Fights and fires might be Edo's, flowers,
but battling with our noble phantasms is us heroic spirits' flowers. Oh god. Funglui on Sochili Shuta Sawaka Waganagal Fluff Toggin. What?
Imperial Edict. In the name of His Imperial Highness's consort, I, Yang Taizen.
Stop it before one of you ends up dead. Hokusai? Oh?
Huh, Vingo? What happened over there, nurse? Ow.
I'm sorry, Vengo surprised me and tied me up. Kinky.
Hokusai. I've been wanting to meet you.
Well now, so we got yet another beauty on board I ain't never seen before. Huh?
You the one who called me here? I called you? Deeper.
Huh?
Further. Did I? Also, did I hear him say your name is Van Gogh? As in Vincent van Gogh, the painter from the Netherlands? Yes, it's me. I'm honored. You've heard of me.
No, that ain't right. Who are you really? Ever since I got summoned to this day and age, you better believe I've been looking up work from artists who started painting after I died. That definitely goes for Mr. Van Gogh's work too. I spent a hell of a long time studying his paintings. And the moment I took a gander at him, I could tell right away that they were just like mine. Don't get me wrong, it means the world to me knowing one of the world's biggest names took a liking to my work. But... well, Van Gogh might have dug Hokusai's style. They say he was always more of a fan of Hiroshige.
And you know what? I believe it.
I can practically smell Hiroshige's hands all over Van Gogh's work. That tells me Van Gogh is a guy, not a gal. A naive, sensitive fella who probably caught more than his share of colds. You got all that just from how he painted? Oh, damn. Trust me, it takes a lot more than becoming a servant to change a painter's whole essence. Just take a look at that Da Vinci guy. So I know this is the pot calling the kettle black here, but I don't know you. Who are you really, lady? You might call yourself Van Gogh, but...
Ha! Yeah.
Thank you, Lambda. That was my glamorous alter ego special attack. I do hope you liked it. Yes, it was great. I trust you don't mind, Ritsuka. It seemed like she'd said everything she had to say. Now, if we can get the answer to her question she was just asking, that'd be great. Yeah, no problem.
Good. Now I can deal with the bigger problem at hand. I look forward to seeing just how deep your love really goes.
I don't know exactly what sort of problem Van Gogh is struggling with, but do we really have no other choice but to pry into it now? Yes.
I mean, we're under so much pressure and Captain isn't here with us either.
Hey, Goghie?
Who's that? It can't be me. It looks like I'm just a nameless foreigner who called Hokusai to the Void Sea and tried to kill you all.
I don't care about that. No, that wasn't a frame drop. That was just a straight up connection drop. I don't know why it does that.
Do you know who I really am? The true identity of my heroic spirit?
One thing at a time, okay? Let's just take it easy for now.
Please tell me.
Clytie? That wasn't me. Clytie.
They're all glitching. Come on, guys, cut it out. There's a reason Captain's been keeping that to himself.
Clytie.
Clytie? Right. I remember now. That name was tucked away deep inside the knowledge I received from the throne. I see. It's the perfect name for me. Oh, is that why I bloomed? Though you know, Master, even after hearing that name, I still can't help but think of myself as Van Gogh. I can't escape his memories either. So
I'll go do my best to die on my own. Somewhere deeper and further away where I won't make any more trouble for any of you. You don't have to do that.
Goodbye, Master. Goodbye, Lady Angry Fae. Goodbye, everyone. A heartfelt handshake to each of you. Please give my regards to Nemo.
You don't have to go die. We don't want that.
Huh? This can't be happening. Goghie, why?
This is terrible. Why do things never seem to go our way? Well, we gotta wake up Captain. We can go look for Goghie. Right, this is all very confusing for everyone, but we'll do our best to help as much as we can. Who the hell is Clytie, by the way? I'm not familiar with that name.
They'll explain? Okay. I assume it was someone connected to Van Gogh in some way, given that Nemo and apparently Ritsuka figured it out, but I'm not sure beyond that.
I'm really sorry, everyone. I guess the memory partition's logic still has some serious bugs. I'll ask Shion to refine it as soon as we get back to the Wandering Sea. Of course, it doesn't change the fact that I put all of you in danger. And on top of that, now Van Gogh's up and disappeared. I can't tell you how sorry I am. I don't think I'll ever be able to make amends for this mess.
Don't worry, Nemo. I honestly don't think you did anything wrong.
Thank you, Ritsuka. Alright, getting back on track. We need to prepare for the final phase of this operation. Let's start by assessing our current situation.
Right, first the Nemo Marines that were behaving erratically are still operating, albeit with their personalities temporarily suspended. Damn, so they're just like drones now? And the rest of the Nemo series are still functioning as usual, though their opinions on what we should do next remain divided.
That's largely because I'm still conflicted about this whole thing myself. I won't ever let my thoughts shut down like that again, though.
Sounds like your mind's just about made up.
Hokusai is in the slammer.
But she looks sane.
Indeed, Todo-sama's woken up too, though he claims he doesn't remember anything. Maybe so, but that doesn't mean we can let her out.
There's no telling when she might start acting up again.
The professor and I examined her spirit origin graph, and it seems her skills were illegally
modified.
Father-daughter bond, the skill she uses to fight off the evil god's influence, was temporarily weakened, and in exchange, her item construction skill was significantly enhanced. Disturbing though it may be, if this is the method the evil god used to influence her, then it's well within our means to counteract. I have already equipped her with a mystic code that should neutralize the weakening effects. Now all we can do is wait and see what happens next. Fortunately, she's been quite cooperative since her capture, so for the time being, she should no longer be a concern.
But I'd still rather not let her out, though. She can stay in the brig. Actually, there's one problem. Van Gogh.
Right, we searched the entire ship top to bottom, but we haven't found her anywhere. There's no trace of her in any of our system logs either. It's like she completely disappeared.
Shoto a minute! Are we really not going to talk about how she wasn't actually Vincent Van Gogh in the first... I mean, we kind of already sort of knew that. Kinda.
For that matter, who is this Clady person anyway? I'm sorry.
I think there were a lot of gaps in the knowledge I received from the throne.
Clady's a figure
Oh, Greek mythology. She's not... Oh! No, I feel like I have heard that name now. Now that they say it's Greek, I feel like I'm actually sort of remembering something. She's not very well known, so it's no surprise you might not have heard of her. She's one of the 3,000 Oceanids, the water nymph daughters of the Titan of the Seas, Oceanus, and his wife and sister Tethys. Her story is one of tragic love, envy, and desolation. Long, long ago, Apollo, god of the sun and the arts, had fallen deeply in love yet again, this time with a human. Her name was Leucothoe. As the daughter of Orcamus, king of Persia, she was one of the most beautiful women in the world. But although Apollo yearned deeply for Leucothoe, he already had a lover, Clyde, a water nymph. Though quite beautiful in her own right, she first despaired upon learning that Apollo had lost interest in her, then grew mad with envy. Shortly thereafter, Clyde began filling King Orcamus's ears with all manner of vile stories about his daughter, with no regard for the truth of her tales. Enraged, Orcamus called Leucothoe before him and had her put to death. Oh! Apollo's heart broke in his grief, but even with Leucothoe gone, he never returned to Clyde's side. From then on, love would forever be beyond Clyde's grasp. Though she regretted her actions, Clyde could never bring herself to abandon her love for the sun. Morning, noon, and night, she fixed her gaze upon the sun. And in time, she transformed from a nymph into a single flower. A sunflower. I see. That explains the Van Gogh connection, I guess. And because she was technically a nymph who became a flower, she survived until Van Gogh's period, and then Van Gogh painted her. It's like her sunflower was the muse for his painting.
I never would have imagined that Van Gogh was actually a character from Greek mythology. Anyway, did I get Clyde's story right, Captain?
Yeah, that was spot on. Thanks, Mash. When we first met Van Gogh, her flower girl motif almost immediately reminded me of Clyde, the water nymph who had a falling out with Apollo. The flower she becomes at the end of her story is called a heliotrope, which means something like to always face the sun. However, later retellings often depict her turning into a sunflower instead. I mean, don't sunflowers do that too? Don't they turn to the sun? Like, that's why they're called sunflowers? So, that would make sense. Of course, the Van Gogh we know also uses sunflowers prominently in a variety of ways, but so did Van Gogh the painter. He often used sunflowers in his paintings to represent the sun's warmth. In fact, some of his best-known work is actually a series of paintings titled Sunflowers. On top of that, both our Van Gogh and the painter Van Gogh tended towards self-destruction.
True, Vincent Van Gogh was very intelligent. He also struggled to manage his passions,
Which sometimes led to him harming himself, yeah.
Well, Clyde's story definitely shows how unrequited love can make one do foolish things. I think the fact that her intense regrets made her turn into a flower could also be seen as her need to punish herself.
Is there any interactions between... I mean, I guess technically Paris, but specifically the Apollo that he has on his head and Van Gogh when you have her, after pulling her? They've got to have some interactions at some point, right? Like maybe my room dialogue or something? By the way, in all classic sources, is Helios in this story, not Apollo. Yeah, that makes sense, given... Yeah. But I guess this fate was already locked in on Apollo being the god of the sun. You know, it's not technically correct. I guess they were like, we'll use him. We will use a version that uses him. It is brought up in her interlude? Okay.
I think the fact that her intense regrets made her turn into a flower could also be seen as her need to punish herself. When you think about it, for two heroic spirits with different backgrounds and even genders, Van Gogh and Clyde do have a lot in common.
I'd guess Van Gogh's spirit origin is actually mostly Clyde. For one thing, further analysis shows us that she has a high-ranking divinity, something you rarely see in servants from modern eras. At first I thought that was just because she's a foreigner, but if she's actually a nymph directly descended from Titans, that would explain it much better. Yet despite that, her memories are all Vincent Van Gogh's rather than Clyde's. Maybe she's a phantom spirit then?
She could also be a high servant. Both her Van Gogh side and Clyde's side seem fairly high-ranked after all.
I don't know, but I do know that unlike you and me, she's been melded together from very disparate parts. Now she's a heroic spirit with the mind and body of Clyde, a female nymph, and Van Gogh, a male artist. Her very existence is one giant contradiction. It's no wonder she's so unstable.
Now I see. That must be what the outer gods are after.
You think so?
I do. I can tell. After all, in one sense I am an outer god myself.
True.
so I can understand what they're thinking, though only up to a point. When these gods set about making the heroic spirit we know as Van Gogh, it must have been for the purpose of invading your world. That is, modern-day Earth.
So they tried to make something as, mentally unstable as possible.
The way from the outer to the inner and from void to reality is long and treacherous. It is not the sort of path that can be crossed in a single leap. Indeed, even the strongest of gods could die a sudden, ignominious death if they were to stumble in the wrong spot. So they must have sought a place they could use as a foothold into your world, a bridgehead or outpost of sorts. They found one in void space. It is a completely unobservable zone, both next-door neighbor and distant destination to reality space, separated only by a thin wall of recognition.
Excuse me. I'm sorry for interrupting, but does that mean this mysterious enemy already knows about void space?
Probably. Definitely, yes.
I would think so, yes. We'll need them to come up with a means to counter that strategy upon our return. At any rate, we now know that their plan was to send a heroic spirit to void space on an expedition to discover more of the yet unknown paradise. To do this, they summoned Van Gogh to the void, where she proceeded to call Hokusai here and wait for us to arrive. They clearly already have a means of accessing void space, yet instead of coming here directly, they chose to send a heroic spirit in their place. I cannot profess to know what led to that decision, but given what we know of their goal, certainly their chosen heroic spirit must be capable of creating the base of operations they would need. Furthermore, if we think back on what Van Gogh has accomplished thus far, we can surmise that she was given 3 duties to fulfill. 1. Requisition local personnel. 2. Create a local base. And 3. Deify the requisitioned personnel.
Now I get it.
They plan to use Chaldea's foreigners to bolster their ranks. That's correct, Osakabe. I suspect the cost of summoning heroic spirits to the void must be too great for them to amass an army that way. So they must have thought to take advantage of our servant resources and our access to void space, which they've done quite well. In answering Van Gogh's call, Hokusai developed a madness of her own, warping her skills and making her amenable to the Outer God's desires. Thus, when she had successfully disguised herself and stood away aboard the Nautilus, the Outer Gods had everyone they needed. Just as they planned, Hokusai transformed void space into a sea, and went on to paint trenches, battleships, and other grand works into existence. Had we not stopped her, she may have eventually succumbed to her madness completely, and painted a temple for these evil gods that they could use for their outpost. I do not know how they planned to mount an assault on reality space from there. But if nothing else, I expect we would have been forced to give up the paper moon in order to stop them. And that, of course, would have put an end to any hope we had of restoring proper human history.
Wow. I had no idea we were that close to disaster. Yeah, a little bit. Indeed we were.
Then the Outer Gods must have had Hokusai in their sights from the stuff from the start. So when they realized they could use her ukiyo-e connection with Vincent Van Gogh to bring her here.
Indeed. That is no doubt one reason they chose Van Gogh. But I suspect their true aim lies elsewhere. Van Gogh's noble phantasm, the Starry Night, is a painting capable of swallowing the very world with its alternate depiction of reality. It can transform foreigners into gods, and spread madness to all who gaze upon it. So once the Void Space Temple was complete, they must have planned on using her noble phantasm to deify the other foreigners. No doubt that is the final phase of their plan, the grand mechanism through which these evil gods meant to descend upon Earth.
But that doesn't make sense. If Goghie really wanted to do that, she could have turned me into an evil god whenever she liked. But she didn't.
Exactly.
Huh?
Though sometimes the foreigners may be compatible with void space, if they should cease to be servants. Or rather, if their inner divinity were to take control of them, would they not then lose those abilities as well?
Are you saying Goghie was going to betray us?
No. I am certain she had no desire to do that, which is exactly why her spirit origin was melded with Clyde.
What do you mean?
I too have read up on Vincent Van Gogh's history. While some may call him a mad artist, I can see that deep down he was a man of strong conviction. Though he may well have yearned for a connection with the gods beyond the stars, he would never willingly be a party to their plans once he learned they were evil in nature. One need only look to the life he lived as proof.
Wait, are you saying the reason Van Gogh took his own life was because he learned that painting the Starry Night
Inadvertently invited an evil god into our world? I am saying that if that was indeed the case, then he would be bound by a similar restriction, even as a heroic spirit.
Vincent Van Gogh would never succumb to madness, that is, the outer god's influence. He would sooner take his own life. This must have been a great conundrum for the outer gods. The noble phantasm they desired above all others was wielded only by a heroic spirit who would never obey them. So they hatched a horrific plan. They would create their own patchwork heroic spirit who would meet their needs. They thought, what if we were to take Vincent Van Gogh's memories and talent and give them to Clytie instead? In Clytie's case, she refused to take her own life, regardless of how much she loathed herself, choosing to become a flower rather than fade away. That is the crucial part.
Then you mean, they prevented their chosen heroic spirit from being able to commit suicide, as her doing so would ruin their plans?
Correct. Do you remember? Van Gogh herself said that she wished to die, but was unable to do so.
So the Van Gogh side of her felt she should die in order to stop the outer god's plans, but the Clytie side refused to allow her to do so. Poor Goghie. That's the cruelest antinomy I've ever heard. Even without those fundamentally opposed beliefs jostling for control, the sheer discrepancy between Clytie's mind and Van Gogh's memories alone must have been so hard for her.
It seems the outer gods and madness are inextricably intertwined. Foreigners, indeed. With suicide no longer an option, if Van Gogh lost the battle in her mind and succumbed to the madness, then she may no longer have any compunctions against using her noble for tongue-tied. If Van Gogh lost the battle in her mind and succumbed to the madness, then she may no longer have had any compunctions against using her noble phantasm. If that had come to pass, it would only be a matter of time until the evil god's temple was complete, just as they planned. Why did I make her Holmes for a second?
How awful. Man. I know heroic spirits are basically living weapons, but twisting one of us to this degree is just... yeah, bye.
Not even that they're big words, it's just they're weird, it's weird words that it's hard to say when I'm like not breathing as I'm trying to do a like softer semi-feminine-esque voice. I'm like
it's just yeah, bye.
What can we do to help her?
Fine, I'll be the one to say it.
There's one simple solution here. It's as efficient as it is cruel. Kill her.
We honor her wishes. We kill her.
I mean...
Oh, shut off the waterworks.
I'm just stating the obvious.
If you really want to save her, you'll have to do the work of thinking up something else obvious.
But I'll say this, we're agreed that she can't kill herself no matter how much she wants to, right?
Yeah.
That means now she's disappeared, she must be running around lost and desperate at being unable to use her last resort. The fact that she gave up on the only way left to make her wish come true by having someone else kill her may even be a sign that her madness has reached its peak. Oh, come now, Miss Timeless Beauty. Glaring at me won't accomplish anything here. We all need to be aware that Van Gogh is only one step away from entering her final, most dangerous phase. If you want to save her from that fate, then you'll have to rack your brains to come up with a plan that's just kind, wise, and smart.
If you manage to pull that off, then I suppose I might consider helping you out a bit more. If I feel like it. I'll help too.
I want to slack off more with Van Gogh.
Go get Van Gogh. Go. I too will do my best to save this poor girl from her sad fate. Any honorable warrior would do the same. And of course, the very idea of letting these evil gods descend upon our world is outrageous. That would be an absolutely unacceptable affront to public decency. Yang Guifei, the Nautilus. No, wait. Speaking as Captain Nemo, Phantom Spirit, I promise I'll do everything in my power to save her. And if I've learned anything about you two over the course of this voyage, Acting Commander and Acting Vice Commander, it's that you both feel the same.
We're not leaving here without her. Not on my watch.
Absolutely. There you have it. We're all of one mind on this. So will you help us save her too, Yang Guifei? Yes. She, of course. I'll do whatever it takes to rescue her. But first we have to find her. So I'm going to have to make use of your mobility whether you like it or not, Lady Lambda. We'll also need resources. Goddess, anything you can help us find. New weapons, new information, anything will be a huge help. Oh, and we'll also need to defeat the enemies hiding in the go board spaces if we're going to get anywhere. Fran, Lady Raiko, I'll be counting on your help with that. As for me, I'll put everything I have into finding those enemies. Will you look for them with me, Batty?
Yeah! Of course I will, Yu. Sorry, I got so caught up in watching everything unfold that I forgot I'm actually part of it.
But yeah, rescuing Professor Van Gogh? That sounds awesome.
I'm gonna work just as hard to make that happen as I did to make my deadline that summer. Yeah. I'm sure you worked hard. Excuse me.
Lord Shenyu?
I'm so sorry. Sorry about calling you Hegemon King.
No, I'm not at all concerned about that. As all paths I take are necessary, it was inevitable that history would come to know me by that moniker. I only wish to know if the naval chart I left you was entered into the computer's mapping system correctly.
Yes, of course. I mean, we'd never have made it this far in a million years without it.
Then why are you all acting as though Clytie Van Gogh's whereabouts are unknown?
Huh? Then does that mean this final destination here is...
Indeed. I already accounted for Clytie Van Gogh's disappearance in my predictions. You should therefore be able to find her at that point. That said, my predictions show further conflict in the future, so I expect there will indeed be a fierce battle during the final stage of this incident.
Having him around is kind of OP, isn't it? I'm surprised we don't consult him before every lost belt. Post the third one. Like, hey, Shenyu, what do you think will happen, in this lost belt?
I also expect that a stockpile of resources will be the key to winning this battle, so I suggest we make every effort to ensure we are sufficiently prepared.
Thanks, Shenyu.
And Captain, related though it may be, I owe you an apology. As much as time was of the essence, it was still wrong of me to tamper with your ship without your permission.
Don't worry about it. If you hadn't done that, none of us would be here right now. I'm glad you're on our side, Shenyu.
Same. I did not like having him as an enemy. Conqueror's War Cry. Having him as an ally is, quite the boon. Daniel Boone. I know I can continue forward in the story, but I'm just, filling out a few extra zones right quick.
館内戦
Just
闘に
seeing if
備えよ
there's
何が出るかわからないからね
aha. Indeed there is. Give me the chest.
焦らず
Gimme.
着実に海図を埋めていこう
Mine. Mine. Nice. Alright. We'll leave that. Rest of that for later. Idle Talk 3. Meanwhile, in Chaldea. Or Novum Chaldea, that is.
Okay, let me make sure I've got this straight. The key features that define these outer gods are 1. They're huge, gross, and powerful.
Yes.
2. Our usual physics and magecraft rules don't apply, which also makes it hard to communicate.
Yes.
3. They claim ownership rights to Earth and inventors' rights to its life forms. 4. If they were actually in charge of Earth, they would turn it into something weird and grotesque. 5. Most of them have been imprisoned. 6. Well, they generally act independently. Some of them are allies and some are enemies. And 7. Regardless of what they look like, they're not immortal, metaphysical, or conceptual beings. They're still flesh and blood creatures with lifespans just as finite as ours. That about sum it up?
More or less. I'm a bit concerned that we may be in danger of underestimating the threat they pose, but we can put that aside for the moment.
Now I get it. This theory is basically the antithesis of the last 2,000 years of philosophical optimism. The author may as well be saying we're not pure beings, man. God isn't real, the only reason we're here is because some gross, disgusting monsters made us. When you put it that way, it explains a lot about the foreigner incidents that have cropped up so far. You think? Personally, I'm inclined to write the whole idea off as fairy tale nonsense. Well, not so nonsensical when we've literally seen tentacles come out of space portals in Salem. So, you know. Hey, don't be too quick to dismiss fairy tales, Shion. We've already proven we can hypothesize about something like void space after all. Think of it this way. If the world of intellect we know is the inner side and everything else is the outer side, then it's only logical that from our point of view, everything from ethics to world outlooks would be turned on their heads in that outer side. And that definitely lines up with the ideas of a certain early 20th century novelist. I still don't know. The whole thing sounds ludicrous to me. I'm still waiting for Lovecraft to be added as a servant of some kind. Oh wait, no, you guys. Wait, no, right. The one guy, what's his face, is meant to sort of be Lovecraft, isn't he? Right, the guy that took Abigail away. No, that guy is actually one of the good outer gods, or was he? I don't remember. Yeah, Randolph Carter. I don't remember. Was he meant to be Lovecraft, or was he meant to be one of the good outer gods? I don't remember. Or was he meant to be something else entirely? I don't know. He's Lovecraft's self-insert. So, okay, so as far as fate's concerned, he probably is Lovecraft. Okay. You think? Anyway, let's move on. If we're dealing with outer gods here, the main points we need to worry about are 5, 6, and 7, right? 6. Since they can't make many direct moves, their options for intervening here are pretty limited. We might be able to leverage their oppositions to one another as a means to drive them away. And in the worst case, it's possible to use physical, magecraft, and otherworldly means to destroy them.
Fantastic. I've never seen anyone else grasp these ideas so quickly. You truly are peerless genius.
You know it. Alright, so what's this opposition about anyway?
Yes. Let us then believe each of the other gods belong to one of 4 factions, much like the 4 elementals of earth, water, fire, and wind. Personally, I think that idea is preposterous and has no basis in fact.
However, it is clear beyond a shadow of a doubt that there are some divinities who are innately opposed to one another simply by virtue of their conflicting natures.
So some gods are in opposition to one another, huh? I don't know about that, but I do know that Hokusai and Abby don't seem in any way adversarial.
Very true. In fact, they seem to be very good friends. Indeed, seeing them always brings a smile to my face.
I'm not gonna make a big thing of it now, but hearing that from you, it sounds more than a little ominous.
Yeah, a little bit. Ooh. At any rate, there's no telling what the future may bring. The way things are going now, it's only a matter of time until we encounter a foreigner with a clearly hostile intent.
So there's nothing we can do about that? Well, that's not encouraging.
I'm certain there is a divinity out there who considers Lady Hokusai their enemy, and the same also holds true for Lady Abigail. If both foreigners were to, as they say, get into a tussle with their enemies, the chaos unleashed would be akin to hell on earth. And as heartwarming as that prospect may be, as the caretakers of this fine facility, I am sure that is a headache you would much prefer to avoid. However, it bears mentioning that if such a brawl did take place, it may actually lead to greater stability than we enjoy right now.
Is that your way of saying if we had one of these oppositional deities around, there would be a deterrent that keeps their enemy in check and stops the various foreigners from going off the deep end?
In essence, yes. As I say, fire is best fought with fire and poison with poison. Indeed, even incurable poisons can be contained with another poison of equal potency. Well, I can see the sense in considering all foreigners too dangerous to remain. I, for one, am firmly in favor of keeping them around. In fact, I would argue they are the very lamplights keeping the encroaching darkness at bay, thereby preventing a far more disastrous fire from ever occurring. They are the unparalleled good omen here to fend off a threat to humanity from nothing less than another space-time continuum.
I think it's way too dangerous to go that far. But I do agree we shouldn't be too quick to get rid of them. After all, if knowledge is power, then the unknown is even more power. I agree with that too. However, Marshal Gilles, there is still one thing I would like to ask you.
By all means, Mademoiselle Sakaris.
What do you think foreigners actually are? Earlier you described them as a kind of vaccine inoculating us against greater threats. But that is solely our way of looking at it, right?
Ah, yes, you've touched upon quite the key conundrum. What we are all compelled to wonder, are they? Shrine maidens of evil gods, vessels, avatars, replicas. I do have an opinion on the matter, if you care to hear it.
Of course.
I believe they are genuine heroes.
Oh?
Well, one could certainly view them as an abnormal class that was created solely as a means of invading our world. The fact that these beings in the outer universe can only reach out to this world via the Throne of Heroes speaks volumes. The fact is, if these beings wish to come to our world, their only option is to don a heroic spirit. In other words, a human shadow that has left an indelible mark upon history. And what is that but an incredibly binding restriction? It goes to show that even in the face of these outer gods, our world remains impenetrable and indomitable. So why should we be particularly afraid of their otherworldly madness? We know that humans are more than capable of going mad, killing and destroying even without such influences. In fact, I'll go so far as to say this: madness creates anti-heroes, which go on to create legends of terror. And the Throne of Heroes welcomes all of it. I trust you see my point. The foreigner girls are still in the midst of creating their legends, and they are doing so in exactly the same way as all the other heroic spirits did during their lifetimes. And that is why I have no fear of foreigners. Indeed, I welcome any and all new arrivals from their class.
Well, that turned out to be a more interesting discussion than I was expecting. Don't you think, Shion? Yeah, Gilles was for once actually making sense in what he was saying. I suppose so. Personally, I'm still digesting the idea that new anti-heroes are being created even as we speak. Yeah,
hey there, Miss XX. Have you been swimming this whole time? I have. Since we've been seeing things like multi-headed and flying sharks lately, I thought I would get in some practice battles to prepare for the upcoming season. Oh crap, I didn't realize I'd been out this late. I'm off to nab whatever's left over from dinner. XX, out for takeout. Okay. Well, we're on a subject. Where does she fit into all this? Huh. Playing dumb. Wait, playing, meaning you do know what she's about. Wait a minute, hang on. Him playing dumb implies he's very aware of what XX is, though. Unless it's playing dumb as in, like, oh, I didn't hear that question. Getting back on track, by hook or by crook if necessary. I will say I feel a bit uneasy about one thing. Oh, and what's that?
Remember how I said the conflict between adversarial foreigners should effectively allow them to cancel each other's power out? Well, if a foreigner capable of mediating such a conflict were to show up, that would be another matter entirely.
Like Yang Weifei? Or is that referring to XX? Probably referring to Weifei, Probably. Likely.
よし、探索用お坂部姫発射。泣き言は後で聞く。
Quick Japanese expression that means to feign ignorance, play dumb, pretend not to know, or act as if nothing happened. So maybe it's act as if nothing happened, as in like, oh, I'm gonna pretend I didn't hear that question. That makes sense. That would make sense. Alright, well, that's, whoops, I didn't mean to back out right then. But that is Act 4 in the books. I think we'll finish Imaginary Scramble tomorrow. Yeah, we'll finish it tomorrow. But okay. So yeah, I had seen Van Gogh's Final Ascension before, but I had no idea what the hell its deal was. I assumed it had something to do with like, you know, being a foreigner, but I was not expecting him to be mixed with a water nymph from Greek mythology. I do feel like I have heard of Clyde before. As soon as they mentioned that it was a Greek mythology character, like I know they explained who she is after that, but like before they explained who, like her story, I do feel like I'd heard it before. I don't know in what story or where, but I feel like I've heard of it. I'd heard it. Maybe she's mentioned in Percy Jackson at one point, or maybe she's mentioned, I don't know. Or maybe I'm just overthinking it. If anything, Ascension 2 is more Clyde, hence the blue skin. Yeah, true. I guess that would be more water nymphian. Yeah, I can see that. But like, the second Ascension, I assumed was just like, she had the blue skin because of Starry Night, like it had something to do with the painting, or like reference to the fact that Van Gogh was incredibly depressed, and so he was blue. But that actually was a really good section, though. It had a lot of... And man, I honestly did not see the Hokusai thing coming. I had chalked a bunch of stuff up to coincidence. Like there being 13 Marines in that screen when Nemo said there should be 12. I thought that was just like either an art fuck up or like a translation issue somehow. I don't know how you mess up translating 13 to 12, but oh, you're making 13-12, but no, just quite intentional. Okay, but when he introduced them to us, I assumed they were all there. So how did Nemo not notice that there was one too many? How did Nemo himself not realize there was one too many Marines there? Like, I get... I don't know. You just missed it? I guess. I can buy that, you just didn't notice. Yeah, I guess that's what it has to be, right? Like, how else would that make sense? But yeah, I didn't even... but when the one Marine said he named his doll Toto, I don't know how I didn't even realize. I guess I just forgot that Hokusai's thing was Toto. Was named Toto. Oh. Increased crit strength against enemies with the burn status. That relies on a lot of things. One, she inflicts burn with one of her skills, but that would also need her to have crit stars to be able to crit with. So I can see that being good though. Assuming you meet the conditions, I can see that command card being good. It's good on Draco because Draco causes burn. Yeah, but unfortunately Draco is 28,000 off of Bond 15, so it'd be a bit of a waste to use that on her. Yeah, my Draco is very close to being maxed out. Unfortunately. Sadly. I'll miss her. She's literally been with me in every single Singularity, Lost Bell, main interlude. Actually, I haven't used Draco a single time in this. Anyway, main interlude. I'll have to rectify that. I'll have to use her at least once before we're done. Just so I can say I'm probably gonna continue bringing her even after she hits Bond 15. Like, I'm gonna use her in at least one battle in every single story chapter, just to say I did. Like, she was there in Fuyuki. She was there in Orleans, since it'd feel wrong to not use her everywhere.
艦内戦闘に備えよ。
Alright, I think I've got all the chests, it looks like. I would see ripples if there was one here. Yeah. So it's just the enemies.
そこだね。
But
焦らず着実に改造を埋めていこう。
I think that's all of them. I'll probably end up filling out the map entirely. Just cause, but
そこだね。焦らず着実に改造を埋め
in
ていこう。
terms of chests and enemies, that's everything, I think. So I guess that's gonna do it. And yeah, man. I think out of all the main interludes, this has my favorite new characters. Just because, to be fair, Septum, or not Septum, why did I say Septum? Seraph. There weren't really any new characters aside from King Protea, but we don't actually get any, like, character from her, right? She's just an uber boss to fight. So, like, there wasn't anything really new there. I mean, Suzuka was new, I guess. Technically. For me. So... yeah, I still like Goghie, Van Gogh, and Yang Guifei more than her, though. I think, I don't know. Oku's a weird one. I think, yeah, like, I like Kama, but I think Goghie is more interesting than Kama was. But in terms of overall main interlude, like the story, I don't know, I might still give it to Oku overall, but like, I think this might have the better characters. I don't know. And then Christmas in the Underworld was immensely disappointing to me. So it's not even in the running. But yeah, I think favorite main interlude, it's probably gonna be between this and Oku. I don't know. Oh, this might take it. I don't know. But anyway. Now we quit rambling. And, yeah, I don't know if we're actually gonna be able to save Goghie or not, because generally speaking, all of the servants we tend to meet, the Chaldea version is one that gets summoned after, so I doubt she'll be an exception. I'm sure some way, somehow, she'll probably end up we'll probably have to kill her, or she'll find the resolve to somehow do herself in, and it'll be some heart-wrenching thing where she's like, maybe we'll meet again if you want to summon me, or something like that. But I can't imagine we're gonna bring this particular Van Gogh back with us. Christmas was on a time when Los Angeles wanted to add all the events to main interlude, but then I pivoted away from that. Which kind of sucks. I mean, it'd probably be a lot of work for them to add all of the events to main interlude. Maybe not a lot of work. If they, I don't know. Maybe it's not. Maybe it wouldn't have been as hard as I'm thinking it would be. But that's probably a reason they didn't end up doing that. I guess to make it so that the people who were actually playing the game at the time got something special, like unique. But it still sucks. But anyway, I guess it's gonna do it. Thank you guys for watching, and yeah, next time, Act 5 and then the epilogue, and hopefully... I mean, again, I don't think anything good will come out of it, but I'm hoping it's not too sad. Because I really don't think we're gonna get out of this without killing Goghie, but we will see. So yeah, I'll catch you later. Peace.